Good Sunday evening. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. I'm just waiting for someone to pop on to join us. I thought tonight we would take a sneak peek at one of the sets that's coming out the beginning of March. Hi, Carol. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Sunday. I'm not a person that likes to watch football, so this works out just fine with me. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for popping on. Rhonda, hi. I kind of wondered with the football game starting at 5:30 whether or not there was going to be some people that really wanted to watch the game, but I know my husband was more interested in watching the commercials, but he doesn't even have the TV on upstairs. Thank you very much for sharing, Rhonda. Yeah, I don't care for football myself either. It's a game I can do without. When I was in high school, I was in the pep band, and we had to go to all the sporting events, and I didn't care for really any of them. So I was always happy when we'd get done playing and I could take off. So I think I like basketball even less for the same reason. But anyway, so I thought we would take a sneak peek at one of the new sets coming out at the beginning of March, and it's called Forever Florals. And if you saw my little message that I posted earlier today that showed all the beautiful die cut that's on here, right here. And these are two die cuts actually. This is the center one is a separate one here. But I have been cutting them both out together actually. So I have, well, you'll see. And I did work on it over the weekend. I had my class yesterday, so I'm usually working on cards while my participants are working on the class, and I was having fun with this set. Having lots of fun. Oh, let's get that in there right. Doesn't want to go. There we go. Okay. So anyway, I'm ready to turn the camera down. We can get started. Hi, Shar. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get going. I'm going to get you down so I think you're going to be close enough. Yep. You're not going to see me stamp, I don't think, if I don't bring this up a little more. Okay. That should be great. Oh, it went down just a little bit, didn't it? Waiting for it to catch up here. Hang on a second. I want to see where my hands are and how far down I can go. Okay, no more than that. All right, so this is the stamp set that we're going to be using. I love the font on these sentiments, and they are nice to use for both on the front and inside both, which I really like. And I know it doesn't look like there's a lot to do with the stamps, but when you add the dies to them, I think they're pretty awesome. So let me get our first card up here. And I need to get my sample up at some point here. Okay. And I went ahead and did some die cutting ahead of time just to try to save us a little bit of time. But I'm going to show you what I did. I used the Thoughtful Journey paper for the cards this first card that we're going to make. And I thought that I would take this one and show you how it turns out, because it's pretty cool. So let me just grab those two dies. And I would cut this out to 4 by 5 1/4. So I think I want this side on there for, and then I'm going to kind of split the difference here. So we've got a little off each end. Okay. So that gives us a piece like so. And these could be used to die cut some of the smaller flower designs if you wanted to. But we are going to try to get this centered. The width is going to be a little bit wider. The die is actually like 3 3/4 in width. But I want to be able to have just a little bit of room around the edge. And then I'm also going to add this in. And it is oh, lucky me, I found exactly where it needed to go. It will only go in a couple directions because it's not perfectly round. Alright, and I just have a little bit of tape here to keep this centered somewhat. I'm going to put this on. I can bring it over so you can see what's going on. Just want to make sure that that is. My board is a little warped. Alright, let's put this through. I'm sorry if it makes the camera wiggle, being that it's such a big die. Okay. And I am just going to take this out, a few little pieces on there, and then take my piece of foam, and we're going to take your pick tool that has the brush on the top, and we're just going to go over this. And this is one die that if you use it a few times, you're going to need to go after it with either wax paper or a dryer sheet to make sure that, see, that's all that we're going to have that we're going to throw away. Get some of those big pieces out. So I like how the colors come out on these. And you could certainly add some more color to this. This piece we're actually going to cut apart and add it to our frame, which actually moved a little bit. Pull this out. I'm just going to kind of flick over my waste paper basket to get all the extra pieces off. There's just a couple. Oop. Sometimes the centers of the flowers want to not come out. Alright. There's just a few in here. I'm going to dump this. I had to vacuum last night. or the night before last after I was working on these, and 'cause I had so much on the floor. All right, and I'm going to go around again with a brush to get the rest of this off, because we may cut out one more. This does make a speedy job of it. Oh, let's see, there's one spot there. Otherwise, lots of little holes. Well, there's one corner down here. There, got it. Okay. So look at how nice that looks. I like the colors and how that goes together. Hi, Lori. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Pam. Thank you guys that shared, and I didn't acknowledge that. I really appreciate it. It does help quite a bit. And then you would have some extra pieces that you can cut out. But you'll see how we're going to do this one that I've got laid out here. I used a different background, and it was this one, which I thought was very pretty. And we're just taking a standard card dimensions of 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of white cardstock, and it should be 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. Yes, it is. So it's just 1/8 of an inch in. I just wanted a little bit of it poking out. And this piece, did I do? This one I did cut at 1 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. And I thought, ooh, that'll look very pretty on there. So what we're going to do first is we are going to decorate our framework here. And this one's going on the inside. I'll just tuck that in there. So I went ahead, this is from the center of these. I had 2 of them that were the same. And I broke it down into some smaller pieces that I cut off of here. Like so. And then I ran some leaves through. And they are lightly colored. These, I'm going to use these 3. This one we won't use. It's a different color. I lightly colored them with Misty Moonlight. And then I cut out some flowers that I colored with Petunia Pop. But we're going to do a little more coloring. These little guys here that we'll also use are colored with Berry Burst. So let me get a piece of paper here. Oops. I had about 5 of these going yesterday. I thought, oh, I better stop because I need to have something for you guys to do. But each one was so pretty. I want to go and add a little more color to these. So I gotta grab my Petunia Pop, I think. Yes. That's for sure. Petunia Pop. My sister did not finish her class yesterday, so she has to come back. So I had to leave everything up, which I knew was going to be a little bit of a problem because I just want to get just a little bit of it darker. And because I only have limited number of blocks, and then the colors they were using I wanted to use, so I had to come up with different color combinations yesterday when I was working on these. But I kind of like this. Oh, I did 4 of those. Well, I think we're only going to put 3 on. Okay, and I think these are dark enough, so I will go back to the Misty Moonlight. We're going to add just a little bit more Misty Moonlight to the edges here. Ooh, and I have to find the Misty Moonlight. Let's see. Light Navy. Misty Moonlight. I just want the tips of the leaves to be darker. This is one of those that I'll do a little bit of coloring beforehand, but then I added a little color afterwards, just by kind of pouncing the color on. There, okay. Well, let's assemble. Okay. So I think I've been using it where I put 1 leaf on the top on each, or on the sides, and 1 across the bottom. And then I add some of these extras in, and we can certainly cut some more out of here. Something like that. We're going to put our bright flowers in there like so. On each side, flowers. Okay, I think that's how it's going to look. Put the rest of these out of the way. We could put 1 across the top, but I like to leave the top open and just have the flowers near the bottom here. So, get some glue going here. And this is a silicone mat here, so I don't have to worry too much about gluing on. And if I do, it comes off very easily. I just put some dots of glue on there. This set is just so pretty, and whatever paper you use for this cutout really changes the look immensely, even though it's maybe the same die. Or you could use solid paper if you wanted, but I thought this was kind of a cool concept. I'm going to move that over just a smidge. There. Oh, I'm glad you like the colors. I haven't done anything in this dark color in a long time. It's probably, I bet it was last fall that I used Blackberry Bliss. Doesn't really matter how you get these on here or in what order. I'm going to turn that in just a little bit because I think if it extends past the card, I will snip off the edge. You won't be able to tell the difference. And I don't like gluing it all the way down. I like to leave the edges up so that it has some, has some flow to it. Okay, now we're going to pull this up. You can see how I got some glue on there. I'm just going to take a paper towel and wipe that off so I don't have it sticking to the back of the card when we get to that point. Alright, so I actually want to add that onto the card with dimensionals. So I'm going to take the tiny ones here, the mini dimensionals. And they do place some thicker leaves in nice places. Of course, back behind this bunch of flowers that we glued on, you certainly can add a dimensional there. Let's see. That one's a little wide. I'm going to give that one a little haircut. There. I think that looks pretty good. But before I do that, I want to stamp our sentiment on the front. So I'm going to bring our white sheet back over. And let's take the one that I just cut out. No, that's not the one I just cut out. Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Just for placement's sake, put that on here so I can see exactly where we're going to be going with this. And I thought we would add Thinking of You in the center. And I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. Oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll use the Blackberry Bliss. Change my mind. Since we've got Blackberry Bliss for our card base. Get this ready. Sorry about that. And these stamp so nice. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down onto the card front. So so we're a little more stable. Again, this piece is like 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's just going to have a little bit peeking out. Okay. Now let's get all of our little covers, or whatever you want to call them, off the dimensionals. Okay. You would not necessarily see that sticking out a little past, so I'm going to trim that off. And this one as well. There. I think that looks really pretty. And then the inside, we will stamp "and in my heart." And I think I will take, there's a little leaf in this set. This one down here. I'm going to take the petunia pop, put that around, and I will add a leaf to the top 2 corners. And I'm going to double stamp it. Ah, there's something on my stamp. Just turning it slightly so you get that shadow. Okay. Let's get this inside and put some bling on the front. Oh, they really had it coming out there. And this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then I thought, okay, where did I put the, there it is. Even though they're on the, these are on the last chance list, the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Gems. They look so nice with this. And we're going to use the clear ones up at the top. And we'll go with small ones. And a big one. And up here. and one up there. And there is our first card. I hope you like it. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thanks, Rhonda. Thanks, Lori. Thanks, Carrie. Yeah, it's quite pretty. Really different. And if you wanted to add some Wink Stella on these flowers, that would make them pop even more. But anyway, so that's card number 1. I'll show you my sample. I had put 4 flowers on. I put them on in the 4 corners. And then that was the first card that I tried. And then the next ones I did just the 3, and I kind of like just the 3. So put that one aside, and this one is one we made. Okay, the next one, we are going to use some different paper. And I thought we would use I gotta look at the Nature's Walk, this paper. For our front. And then we're going to use the Lunar Luster specialty paper for our base of our cards. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. And this paper does not tear, but boy does it score nicely. So we are going to be making a box with this on Tuesday night. So we're going to score this at 4 1/4. Nice score mark. And it folds just as nice as can be. Love it. And I'll take my core folder and give it a good press and see how nice it stays. Okay, so we are going to cut out one more time. Bring this over. This time I won't bring the whole thing over onto my desk. I'll just cut it. Get all these little pieces off. That's the only problem with detailed dies is that little leave behinds that you get on your glass plate, and if your glass plate has been used as much as mine has lately, oh, that one's going to have to stay there. Okay. So I cut this at, I think I cut this at 4. Yep, 4 by 5 1/4. All right, I'm just going to line it up this way. Put this on here. I'll put this on next before I okay, come on. I think it should be in here. There we go. I look at this, and this to me looks like a fish, like a dolphin or some kind of fish. And I know that if I have this plate lined up just so, I need to get some more tape on there. See if I can find the end. It's always a mystery too. Is that it? Oh, for Pete's sakes. I always put it on my pants so that I know that it's not going to tear the paper. honestly, that wasn't a good one. It was folded over. Try one more time. Maybe we'll go from one to the other. That's too far over. Try that again. Oh my goodness. Honestly, maybe this one will be easier. I didn't realize these were so hard to find the ends on. There we go, I got it. Okay. Sorry that had to take so long. Just didn't want to have to trim it after I ran it through because it wasn't equal. Okay. My little foam guy out here. Oh, there it is. The gems that you could use with this, that I don't have any of right now, is those clear rhinestones. Would be awesome on here. Just add that extra sparkle. Let's see. Looks like we got that one. Run over this one more time. It beats having to sit there and use the pokey end here of this thing and go through each one of the little holes. There we go. Oh, that one didn't have much to clean up. There. Okay. So I wanted to put this on. I gotta find my sample here. I thought those colors look kind of neat together. Sample is much darker. Okay. And I have some pieces that I cut out already and some that I haven't colored at all. So let's do a little coloring. If we're planning on putting these around here, I'm going to go with Old Olive. Ah, there's pieces missing. There we go. That's better. This time, I wasn't planning on putting the white behind there, but really, it almost looks like it needs it. Let me show you my sample that I used. I used the lower part of this page. This page starts with the green and goes down to the Lost Lagoon and then into the Pretty Peacock at the very bottom, like that. And I just think that we will go with a little bit of olive and then switch it over. The flowers can be the Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. Oh, I got a stack of stuff here. Alright, let's start out with the old olive. And this one I don't want to do too dark on the leaves. 1, 2, 3. I tell you, my die cut machine has really been humming. Now, where are the little ones? They're there. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Old olive. Old olive. See how that looks with that. Kind of blends in, doesn't it? I'm going to darken that up. You know what? I think we might add a little mossy meadow onto the end of those. What say you? Mossy meadow. Let's see. Garden green, granny apple. Okay, it must be over in the cup. Nope. Alrighty. Garden green. Granny apple. Not soft seafoam. Oh, for Pete's sakes. When all else fails, find a finger dauber. Okay. Lost Lagoon. We'll do the big flowers in the Lost Lagoon. Lost Lagoon. Lost Lagoon. And these I just sort of will pick a side and I kind of hold my finger over it so that it doesn't get so dark. Just very lightly then go over it. Gives it kind of a I don't know, I think it looks kind of like a watercolor look to it. I'll go with these guys. Come back here. Stinker. There we go. Okay. And then keep wanting to do garden green. Also, pretty peacock. All right, let's try these little guys. We're gonna have to go darker with those. Alright. Just gonna. Ooh. That stamp pad is juicy. Oh, I did 4 of them, didn't I? Well, well, well. All right. Back to Pretty Peacock. All right. I think I need to add some ink to this one. Okay, we got her. Let's cut a few of these out. Let's see. There's one. Two. I like this one up here. It's dark. Well, let's see. All right. And we can still add a piece of white behind there if we think we need to. My plan is to actually use a tag on there, so we'll lay it out and see how it looks. Okay. Whoop. I have to wonder if my son, who lives out in Seattle, is trying to watch the game. He was never much of a football fan either, but Sometimes when it's your own hometown. Maybe, huh? All right. Put the dark one on right away, too. So. You know what? I'm going to add a dimensional on the back of that one. Where'd my paper towel go? Oh, I guess I tossed it. I don't know why I did that. Ooh, this one's going to have to take a smaller piece. There, give that a little more dimension. I'll do the same thing on these other two. And I'll say one thing, doing paper crafting on a regular basis, it's amazing how much better my dexterity is. Picking up things and being able to open things. And I'm sure that has something to do with it. My husband likes to have some string cheese when he has his lunch, and he can never get them open. He always has to hand them to me. So I can't get my thumb to work to get that package open. Okay, and now we will have to wipe this again. But let's see what we think of this without. Let me grab my tag I was going to use. So this is one of the tags from the set. If that's enough white. I don't know. I think we want to put a piece of white in there, don't you? Let's see. I am going to cut the white the same size as our die cut. So I'm going to do 5 1/4 by 4. So we still have some of that beautiful, very luster look on paper. Yeah, I think that already looks better. Okay, let's just hold that on there for a second. Do we still wish to add this on, or is that a little overkill? Well, that's not too bad either. What do you guys think? Should we add the die cut on there as well? Give me a vote. Have you seen any good commercials, Ron? There's what it's going to look like. Nobody has an opinion. Okay, got her, Otter. Okay, so what color? Maybe we'll use the Lost Lagoon. I thought about using gray, but I don't think there's so much of the Lost Lagoon type color up here that I think that would probably be nicest for the sentiment. But, and it's just going to be sending love. Where'd my piece of paper go? Let's just stamp that on there. Yeah, that's going to be dark enough. Okay. So, line this up a little bit better. Come on. Okay. Sending love. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Pinky's like a, what do they say? Bull in a china shop. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. Put a little glue on here. I'm going to give that just a minute or two to set up. We can go ahead and put this down. You know, I think I'm going to use my stamp and seal on this. Yeah, it should have been up a little bit. Oh well. Alright. What did I do with my inside piece of paper? And that is... oh, it's not this one. Well, it's got to be cut narrower. It's not 4. It's 4.5. Oh, for Pete's sakes. How often do you end up having to put that cutter halfway on your lap when you don't have enough room and then don't get it cut all the way through? So exasperating. Our inside sentiment is going to be, may you feel God's love, God's care and healing as you recover. So this is a get well card. do anything on the inside? I did not. You could zhuzh this up any way you want to on the inside. All right, let's get the outside on and get some embellishments on there. That's looking good. Oh, it's got a little something in the middle, of course. I think it's a little piece of it. Yep. All right. We will use the same embellishments, but again, the white, of course. And I'm going to have to add some of those clear jewels to my shopping list for the next time I send in an order. And there you go. Which one do you like better? What is turning point? I don't know that one. Turning point. I feel like I should. It sounds familiar. You don't understand the halftime? I love it. I haven't understand the halftime programs for quite a few years. I love it. You guys are the best. Ah, okay. Oh, I see I've got a little one that's ran over the edge, so let me just give him a little haircut. There. I think these are pretty. The other thing that you could do would be to take a blending brush and just brush just a little bit of color around the circle edge before you glue on the die cut, just to give it a little more softness coming out in here. Would be really pretty. Let me show you the other ones that I made. Let's see, where did I stick them? There they are. I got two other ones that I made. I have this one, which I think is very pretty. This might have been, this actually might have been one of the, oh, this is the first one I did with just the three, which I think turned out really nice. And then I've got a pink one for a sympathy card. So that's what we've got. But I do like these. Yeah. Okay, let us, no, that's not the one that we made tonight. It's this one. Gotta put the right ones away for our drawing next time. All right, let me get the cards up. We have our happy birthday, and this one is the same, You're on My Mind and in My Heart, that we did. And these were, if you remember, we used the Stampin' Positioner in a circle to get those. So let's us see who is lucky tonight. Oh boy, do I have ink pads to put away. Okay. Carol. Carol Fremstad. Is she on? I can't remember. Yep, she is. It is your choice. Give that one a little zhuzh. So I hope you liked this set tonight. We didn't do a whole lot of stamping with the flowers, but these dies are just awesome. And I've got a few more now that I think I have 2 more that I can make cards with in that design. I might do something in a fun fold, possibly. 3. Let me see, I gotta go down here. Yep, congrats, Carol. You want the one on the left, that one. Perfect. Okay. Put that one over the top so it can go up on my shelf. And there we go. Okay, announcements. Again, I will make the announcement for this Cute as a Bug class that I've got going on. February 28th and 29th in person, or you can do a class to go. 45 in person, 53 if I ship. You get a full pack of the paper, and you get the embellishments here. And you're going to be making 8 cards with envelopes of 4 designs. And then this is the product of the month. So with a $75 order, you can get a pack of this paper for $5. And it's 3 sheets each of these 4 designs. And then the backs are that on the side. And then if you have ordered last month, don't forget to use your coupons this month to get money off. And then, of course, we've got that exclusive offer on the Stampin' Positioner, which is this right here. Let's see, I gotta find the other piece to it. There it is. Right here. And I think we'll probably be using this some more in some future demonstrations. So, anyway, I hope everybody's ready for Valentine's Day coming up next weekend. Woohoo! And I will see you on Tuesday night. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much, you guys. And I will see you Tuesday night, where we're going to make a box using that Lunar Luster paper. Had to look it up. It's one I don't know the name on yet, but I really like it. In fact, I think I'm going to have to order another pack of it. I'm blowing through it a little fast, but I think it's cool. I didn't even put any embellishments on this one. I think it does look best probably with the dark on top. But anyway, there you have it. I'll see you Tuesday night. Enjoy the rest of the game, or not, or maybe do some stamping. See you Tuesday night. Bye-bye.